Hi guys, my name is Pele Renata and welcome to my channel. I decided to make a really beginner-friendly video where I show a couple of fun and easy techniques to make an art journal page or a card. For this project I decided to work with the handy size journal page since it is closer in measurements to a card size. For coloring my background, I chose a Distress Oxide ink in Mermaid Lagoon color. I am using an ink blending brush from Studio Light to apply the color on my paper. As you can see, the color is not applied evenly and it's not even coloring the whole paper, so you really don't have to worry about this part, as later on we will add a couple of more details which will make this look really nice. Two basic things that you can do to decorate your background is to use either stamps or stencils. In this particular case I will use art by Marlene stencil called Dotty Dreams, and once again I'm using the same ink blending brush, and I am again not covering the full page. But now, to make this pattern look less like a simple printed pattern, I am spraying some simple clean water, as Distress Oxide inks are water reactive inks, which means that I can lift some dead color and give it a bit grungy look. Now off camera I took the scrap paper from Art by Marlene signature collection and I cut out a couple of these birds, as they will serve as my focal images. But I didn't want my birds just to float in air, I wanted to give them something to stand on. But which pattern paper to choose now? Since my background was monochromatic so far, I wanted to add a bit more color to my page and I chose some really cheerful and colorful pattern. When making art journal pages or cards, it's all about the balance. If you put too much color, it can really get overwhelming and the viewer won't know where to look and he will lose the focus. Anyway, now here I will approximately plan out my layout, and that will help me decide how big a piece of pattern paper do I need. As you might have noticed, I kinda cut off the legs of my birds, as they are really thin and tedious to cut, but that is not a worry, as I will fix it later on and I will show you how. As you can see, I really don't like wasting my scrapbooking paper, so I really did a precise measurement just by aligning my page with the paper without using any ruler or anything like that. Sometimes my personal feeling is that this kind of element still needs some kind of edge or frame, so it doesn't look like that abruptly cut. So I decided to use this black and white stripe to add more edge to my bird stand, I don't know how to call it. And as you can see, I chose the black and white stripe so I wouldn't introduce any more colors to my page, as the pattern paper and the birds were colorful enough. Also, I would like to mention, particularly when you are doing cards, some people like the white frame around their elements, and I think it's perfectly fine, but for my art journal pages I prefer to fussy cut them. But then, to make my cuts look nicer and neater, I like to take a black brush pen and go over the edges. Of course, this step is really optional, but I think it really elevates your project. Now the same thing I will do for my birds. I will go all over the edges of each single bird. Of course I won't bore you that by showing you on the camera, but I would like to show you another thing that I like to do, and I just take a black marker or black pen and go over some details. In particular, always I go over the eyes, because human instinct is always to search for the eyes. And I think it really makes the images look better, as if those elements are more emphasized. But of course, let's not forget adding some highlights, which really fit Art by Marlene's cartoonish style. And for that I just use a gel roll pen in white color. Now when all of the elements are ready, I will use Art by Marlene sticky multi-glue to adhere all the elements. This time I have planned for a really flat layout, but sometimes if you wish to make some of your elements pop and make it more three-dimensional, it is always good to use foam tape for adhering certain elements. Now here are my birds, nicely adhered and legless. So it was really time to fix that little detail, and for that I will use a Pigma Micron pen in black color, because honestly drawing legs is really easy, just a little stick which branches in 3 directions, or at least that's how I do it. When all the legs were drawn, I will use my scissors to chop off the excess paper and make it all look more neat. But now I felt like I need a tiny little detail, so I decided to use these hearts, as I really like how the color pops up on my page. But also let's not forget the quote. All these elements come from Art by Marlene Paper Elements booklet from Signature Collection release. I will repeat the same process that I did before for these elements, meaning I will fussy cut off the white edge. I will use a black brush pen to go all over the edges and adhere them using sticky multi-glue. If you wanted this to be, let's say, a birthday card instead, you could have put a little cake or a birthday hats, put some kind of birthday sentiment, and there you go. The options are infinite. Anyway, just wanted to say that at this point I am using Crocodile to bring back that hole on my paper so I can put it back in the journal. But if you don't have such tool, you can always pierce it with your pencil, as I did before at my early crafty days. And that's it for today. I hope I managed to make this page really simple and inspirational for you. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section down below. And of course, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you really soon. Bye!